Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. Priest. I'm a literacy coach at the ISD and I do work in a lot of your classrooms. I'm so happy to be able to read with you today. I hope that you're snuggled up in bed in your jammies maybe with a nice lovey or a pillow and you can enjoy this story. Today I chose to read Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. This book has been around for a long time. It's by a woman named Judith Viorst, and it's one of the favorites at our house when I read with my boys. So I thought I would read it to you today. There are some words in this book that I think might be a little bit tricky that I wanted to let you know about before we started reading. So the first word is the word invisible. If something is invisible, you're not able to see it. So the air that we breathe in and out all day, every day, we know that it's there, we just can't see it. So the air is invisible. Another word I wanted to talk to you about is the word cavity. In this book, Alexander has to go to the dentist and he found out that he has a cavity on his tooth. And a cavity is just a small hole that makes a little space in your tooth on the hard surface of your tooth, and he has to go back and get that taken care of later. Another word is the word scolded. If you're getting scolded, you're being talked to in a serious way because of maybe a misbehavior or something that isn't going appropriately. And the final word is the word lima bean. Alexander has to eat some lima beans in this book, and a lima bean is a kind of a vegetable seed, and he is not really a fan. So he has kind of a lot of things go wrong with him. I want you to hear all about it. So get cozy and enjoy the book. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard. And by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running. And I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box. And Nick found a junior undercover code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said if I don't get a seat by the window, I'm going to be car sick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and Albert Moyle was his next best friend and that I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off the cone and lands in Australia. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That's what it was, because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found a cavity just in me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I'm going to Australia. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting for Mom to get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy, And when I started crying because of the mud, Nick said I was a crybaby. And while I was punching Nick for saying crybaby, my mom came back with the car and scolded me for being muddy and fighting. Having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, I told everybody. No one even answered. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes, but the man said, we're all sold out. They made me buy plain old white ones. Can't make me wear them. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with his copy machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as can be, except for my elbow. He also said don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said please don't pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. There were lima beans for dinner, and I don't like lima beans. There was kissing on TV, and I don't like kissing. My bath was too hot, I got soap in my eyes, my marble went down the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I don't like my railroad train pajamas. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could keep, and the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not with me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Mom says some days are like that. Even in Australia. I hope you loved this book just like we do. I hope that you had a much better day than Alexander did, but I think it's good to know that we all go through those days, right? If you liked this book by Judith Diorst, she has some others that we love at our house. There's another book called Alexander Who Used to Be Rich Last Sunday. That's a really fun one. And then there's also another book. This is the cover. I don't have the sleeve on it, but it's called Alexander Who's Not, Do You Hear Me? I Mean It, Going to Move. These are some really great Judith Diorst books. So the next time you're at the library, maybe the school library or the library by your house, see if some of these are there that you could check out and read at home. We hope you enjoy them as much as we do, and I hope that you have a great night's sleep. See you soon.